Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Hex and Harmony. This is episode 24, and we've taken the last couple of weeks off for the holidays. Welcome to 2026. Everybody get strapped in for a great year. Today, we are talking about the home as a living altar, which is a fancy way of saying that your house is already doing magic, whether you meant it to or not. This isn't about perfect altars or aesthetic witchcraft. It's about the places you actually live in, rest in, argue in, and heal in. It's the kitchen table, the doorway, the nightstand piled with books and water glasses. If you've ever thought, I don't practice enough, this episode is your permission slip. Your home is already sacred, and we're going to talk about how to notice it and maybe work with it instead of against it. So, hello, Michelle and Bayleet. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. And as always, your intro just stole some of the things I was going to say.
Oh, no. Well, you can always say it again. We can reiterate.
Of course.
So, what kind of things did you want to talk about?
I was going to mention how your altar or your home as your altar isn't about how your house looks. And you mentioned that. And one thing for sure, your home holds energy. It's a container. And that's what an altar is a sacred space that contains and holds energy and magic. And so just by virtue of that definition alone, if nothing else, then your home is an altar. And it can either support you and your magic, or it can drain you and your magic, depending on how you use your home.
Yeah. I mean, I think your house or your home, your apartment, whatever you live in, it knows you better than anybody else in the whole world.
Absolutely.
And it records things. I mean, you hear people talk about they can walk into some kind of space and kind of feel the energy of the room and feel the echo of things that have happened in the room. And all of your thoughts and your dreams and your anxieties and your insecurities and, the list goes on and on. All of that stuff just gets embedded into the walls and the floor and the ceiling of your home. And that's one reason that we talk about spring cleaning or, fall cleaning, getting ready for winter, whenever you do it, is to clear those energies out, the ones you don't want to take into the new year. So I think talking about your home as a living altar, the first thing you would want to do is energetic cleaning, clean out those energies and consecrate your home, respect your home and let it respect you and support you. It needs to be the place where you can go to relax and get away. It should be your sanctuary. To me, that's how I feel, as your home should be your sanctuary.
Absolutely, it should, because your home reflects the devotion of your life, and it reflects your values, and it reflects your choice. So you want it to be a place that reflects peace and harmony and contentment. And if your home is full of strife, then it's that way because that's the energy you're putting out. And you definitely, if that's the case, need to do some cleaning energetically, physically. I mean, whether you're sweeping physical crumbs and dust out or sweeping the energy crumbs out, that's there for a reason. I mean, you spill food and it leaves dirt on the floor. You spill whatever out of your energetic being, and that gets stuck and trapped in your house. And so you need to make sure that you're constantly cleaning energetically and allowing the air to flow through so that that stuff doesn't stagnate. Even if you are radiating peace and harmony into your home, if there's not airflow, if there's not space, then that gets stuck there and it will stagnate. Even clear water that's flowing in a river, if something falls across the river and dams it up, then that water just collects there and it'll stagnate. So it can be something as innocent as you are putting out peaceful energy into your home altar, but if there's not something there to let that continuously flow and move, then it's going to just turn stagnant and dirty, and it's going to not hold peace and harmony forever.
Yeah. Well, think about all the stuff that you track into your house, you know, not just the dirt and the snow from outside if you live in the snow, but you have a bad day at work and you come home in a bad mood, and now you've infected your house with this, you know? So, and other people who come in, you know, that might be in a bad mood and they might bring crap in the house. So I think the number one step, the first step, is to have some kind of schedule, cleaning schedule. Open the windows, open the doors, sweep it all out. You know, you don't have to do a whole, 12-step house blessing every week, but do something to get stuff moving and get the bad stuff out so that good stuff can come in.
Right.
What about you, Bailey? You've been very quiet.
Well, I agree with everything that people have said, everybody said, because I've come to value my peace. I'm extremely circumspect about who even comes into my house.
Yeah.
I have, if I have to meet people, I do it away from my house because, like you said, you don't know what kind of day they had or what kind of day the people they've been around have had. I don't want any of that in my space. You're talking about the shoes. I don't let people come inside my house with their outside shoes on. They have to take their shoes off at the door so stuff doesn't come inside my house. As far as the cleaning, definitely have to be some type of schedule, but I keep at least one window open at all times to make sure that energies are flowing to keep things from getting stagnant. People don't realize how toxic our houses are at this point in time. Materials they make the houses with, the materials that have carpet, the materials if you have I don't know what you call them, not walk-in closets, but like
and even the energy from our electronics, I mean, that's just constantly emitting stuff into our homes. And I mean, it's not good for it to just be there without a way to escape. I'm not sitting here saying we need to get rid of all of our electronics.
No.
On the internet recording this, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean the electronics and the internet, and I mean all of these electronic things they're a way of life now.
Yeah, I mean, we would not be here having this conversation without electronics. I wouldn't have my business without the internet and computers and things, and neither would y'all. So,
I
mean, it's here to stay, and that's kind of my thing with people complaining about AI and how harmful it is, and this, that, and the other. it has its downfalls, and it does have some harmful effects on the environment, but everything does, and it's here. Whether you complain about it or not is not going to make it go away. Learn to use it responsibly and harness it for good. I mean, it's no different than anything else. It has problems, but it has benefits. Be discernful in what you're doing and make educated choices, but don't sit here and say to get rid of something and talk down to people who use a technology that you don't personally want to use. If you don't want to use it, then don't use it, but don't talk down to somebody who does and shame them for it, because it's here to stay. It's only going to grow. Would you rather have people who know how to use it ethically and who are concerned about ethical use to be further developing it, or would you want the people who don't give a crap to be the ones further developing it? So,
yes,
mini rant there. Not
well,
AI has to do with our homes as an altar, but we kind of go off on tangents sometimes.
well, here's an idea that I can throw out there for everybody. Is a flower pot right outside your front door, and plant, a couple of small plants in there. You can make it look pretty, and nobody else in the neighborhood has to know what it actually is, but just a little garden. I love those big, humongous flower pots, the really big ones.
Yes.
And plant some rosemary, lavender, thyme, some mint, and maybe even some sage together in this pot. And that way it can help cleanse some of the energy from yourself or from other people who come into your home. You've got the sage for some cleansing, rosemary for protection, lavender to calm energy before it crosses your threshold, mint for prosperity, and just something that will sweeten up the energy that comes into your house. And it also gives you a pick-me-up as you leave, because all of these things smell beautiful.
Right.
So
I personally do not have a green thumb, so if my husband's not the one growing that for me, it's not going to happen. I'm going to die if I try it. But I also like to keep bells on the doorknobs so that whenever I turn the door knob to open and close the door, then they ring, and that gives me some sound that clears energy. And obviously, I'm all about some smoke cleansing. So whatever herbs I want to use for smoke clearing, I'll do that. And people who are Reiki attuned can do Reiki in their home. That's good if you're having people come over and you don't know what their energy is. Reiki your home before they come, because that's going to shut down some of that negativity if they try to bring it in.
Right.
That's a good idea. And like you said, bells on the doorknob, wind chimes. If you have a front porch, or even if you don't, if you've got anything over your front door, you can hang wind chimes off the corner of it. And they just sound pretty, and they lighten the energy.
They do.
I used to have bells on the back of my.
Yeah. I love to just hear the chimes. I love those deep bass toned wind chimes. Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
When the wind starts blowing.
And as a Jewish person, we have these things on our doorposts. They're called mezuzahs, or the plural of that is mezuzah, but it's a little box thing that hangs on the doorpost of our house. And inside it has a scroll with an actual passage from the Bible in there. And we touch it and then kiss our fingers where we touched it. And that brings God and the divine welcomed into our home to help protect and clear energy. And so that's really good too.
that I do like that idea. And one thing I was going to mention was like make a sigil
Uh-huh.
and put it under the rug, in the hallway or in the foyer or wherever, that just for whatever energy you need or want most, whether it's protection or calmness, or this is a sacred space or whatever, make a sigil and hide them under the rug, under the couch,
Or if
wherever.
you're painting your door, you can paint it on the door and then paint over it so it doesn't show, but it's still there. So the energy is still there, even though you're painting over it and nobody can see it. It's a good way to hide it too.
Yeah. Yeah, things like that. I love those things. And like charms on light switches. So every time you touch the light switch to turn on the light, you're adding energy into that charm, getting whatever, energy or, whatever intentions you put into the charm. And protection bowls near the doors.
I like to bury protection stones in the four corners of my yard.
I actually have just quartz crystal points buried at the four corners to just kind of give me more magical energy when I want it into my space.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Bailey, what do you do as far as protection for your home?
Like I said, I'm circumspect, so I don't keep people away just in that. No, I don't have people come over. So, make sure, do my best to sweep the front of the house regularly to keep energy from accumulating in the doorway in front of the house. Incense, always lighting incense.
I have
Always
incense
candles.
burning right now, actually.
Yep, mine just went out. So, always lighting incense. Always the protection flavors. Palo Santo, all of those things. Always burning at least 3 times a day. Especially first thing in the morning and before I go to sleep. And candles. Always candles with intention.
So, go ahead.
Well, it's okay if you had something to say. I was fixing to change the subject, so go ahead.
I was too.
Okay. Okay, well, go ahead.
I have a strong statement here. Our homes, our living altars are not and should not be treated as storage units for past versions of ourselves, because that leads to stagnation fast. We don't have to carry every version of who we are in our home. Our memory carries meaning. Objects don't. I mean, objects do have meaning, and if an object still has meaning in your life, obviously keep it. But if you've outgrown things, get rid of them. You don't need the things around to remember what they represented in your life.
Right.
Because if you keep everything from every aspect of who you've been, then you're going to drown and get buried in the past energy of who you were, and you're never going to grow. And you're not only is your house going to be stagnant, but you're going to be stagnant as well.
Right. Don't keep things that are going to hold you back.
Right.
I can agree with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having, pictures
Right.
from years ago and all that kind of stuff, but things like things an old boyfriend bought you, and every time you see it, yes, it might be some beautiful thing in your house, or it might be a beautiful necklace that cost a lot of money or whatever, but if
If you
it's going to
still use
always
that,
drag you back.
if you still use that thing and you still find value and pleasure in it, then keep it. But if not, get rid of it. Have a picture of you and the thing and the person or whatever,
Mhm.
to remind you, or rely on your memory for it, because every relationship had good times. So you
Mhm.
don't want to necessarily forget the whole entire thing, but you don't need the object to remember those good times.
Right. Right. And like keeping things as a warning to yourself, to me, I just, you know, you want to fill your house with things that are going to help you grow and help you move forward.
Do not, for the love of all the gods that there may be, do not keep clothes that you have gained weight and cannot fit into, because you might fit into them again one day. Buy new clothes if you lose the weight. Buy new clothes. Treat yourself. Don't keep the old ones. And if you've lost weight, don't keep the old clothes from fatty version of you, because, oh my gosh, what if I gain the weight again? Well,
Mm-hmm.
go buy clothes again.
Yeah.
Don't clutter up your house with clothes that don't fit you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just
That's good
manifesting you to
advice.
gain the weight again or whatever.
That is very good advice, because how many people have a closet full of clothes they cannot wear,
I
Mhm.
know.
and it just clutters it up, and then you can't find anything to put on because half of those clothes don't fit you anymore.
And so then you're like, I have nothing to wear, so I have to go buy new clothes. So you're buying new clothes anyway. So get rid of the ones that
Right.
don't fit.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm strongly opinionated about that, because that used to be me
I think that is about all of us.
at some point,
Yeah.
probably. Oh.
Right. And I mean, if you want some don'ts, you don't turn your house into something full of obligation. I
Right.
mean, nobody wants a nasty, messy house, but don't feel like you have to kill yourself. I mean, if you have a really nice rug, but it has to be shampooed every other day, then you don't need that rug, or that rug can be a little dirt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't just turn yourself into a slave to your house.
Right.
Now, by all means, if you have the time and the energy and the inclination to shampoo that rug every other day, go for it.
Right. That's the one
Like,
thing, but
but
in
you
reality,
probably don't have the time and the energy and the inclination, because let's face it, it's 2026. Nobody has time for that.
Right. We're all busy people, even those of us who do not work outside the home. I
Mhm.
still don't stop all day. I'm
Right.
busy all day.
It's not like
Right.
we just sit around eating bonbons and watching
Right.
TV.
I know, I
Right.
wish.
Well, I don't care about the eating bonbons all day, but sitting around and reading a book or watching TV or whatever would be nice every once in a
Right.
while, but I don't think I'd want to do it all day, every day.
No,
I'd get
no,
bored pretty quickly.
I would.
Mhm.
I think, let me see, yesterday I like took the day off and just relaxed all day. And I was exhausted by the end of the day just watching TV. So,
Yeah.
Exhausting to do nothing. I mean, I try to take every Saturday off because,
Mhm.
Jewish
Right.
Sabbath, whatever. So I try not to work on Saturdays, and it is hard to not work. Oh my
It
God.
is, because you think of a million things you need to
I
get
am a
done.
total Capricorn, and I like to work, and I work all the time. Like, I am a workhorse. My friends will tell you that. I work. So, I mean, my work may not be physical labor, like back breaking under the sweltering sun, digging ditches or something labor, but I work. And
Hmm.
so on Saturdays, it's like, I can't work today. I'm not going to work. I'm going to rest today. And then I'm like, but I want to do this. And then I'll start thinking about it. And I'm like, if I'm thinking about it, then I might as well do it. And I'm not doing it. So stop thinking about it. And it's so hard. Oh my gosh. It is hard to rest in our modern day time.
It is, but you have to give yourself permission to rest and not feel guilty about it.
Right. And I'm like, I'm going to rest. I'm not going to feel guilty. Everybody deserves one day to not work. And then I'm like, but I could be doing this. And it's not like I feel guilty not doing it, but I'm just like, I could do this and I could do that. And then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. And I'm not even going to claim to be perfect, because obviously it's a struggle. I'm sitting here telling you it's a struggle. And sometimes I give in. And I'm like, it's just 1 week. I'm just going to do it now, or I'm just going to do this one task and then I'll stop. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And that's what I'm going to focus on improving in my life in 2026, is honoring that one day and taking it off and not focusing on productivity.
Hmm.
Because, I want my home to be a living altar that allows for rest and peace. And if I don't allow that for myself, then how is my home ever going to reflect that?
Right. Right. And I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Um, your home is a temple, but it needs to be a temple that is lived in. You should feel comfortable to be yourself. Things, like, oh my God, I can't touch this. I can't mess this up. I guess this is maybe on the opposite end of the spectrum from having a messy, cluttered house. You don't want it to be somewhere that you feel you can't relax,
Yeah, it's not a
because,
museum.
yeah, if you put your feet on the couch, you put your feet on the couch, whatever. You want something where you can just be yourself.
Right.
It should be that way anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing that I was going to bring up a while ago, if our home is a living altar, then each separate room in our house also performs a function that you can take advantage of as an altar. So, I mean, when you think about each separate room in your house, I mean, number one is the kitchen, of course. That's like one of the first altars that humans ever made, because we cook there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we had an episode, I don't know how many months ago, about kitchen witchery, but just remember that when you're in your kitchen and you're cooking and you're cleaning, remember that you're tending your altar when you're doing that, instead of thinking, as because I hate more than anything else to wash dishes. So instead of looking at it as a chore, I look at it as a form of service to my altar,
I like that.
to get things clean and sanitized, because this is where I cook the food that I consume and put into my body. And so I look at that cleaning as a service to my altar, and I try to do it with respect for my house. and the like your dining room or the, whatever, the table in your kitchen where you usually sit and eat, you can treat that as an offering. If you have fruit or, bread or something that is always on the table, you can look at that as an offering for you and for the spirits or the deities that happen to drop by your house. Present it as an offering to your family or whatever. So that was another thing I wanted to mention. Do you guys have any other ideas for the kitchen as an altar, a communion?
I think you covered it pretty thoroughly.
Okay, and the other thing about specific rooms was the bathroom as a confessional.
Ooh, cool. I like that.
Yes, because I know people who just go in the bathroom to hide their grief or hide their anger or whatever. Just go lock yourself in the bathroom and cry and do whatever. But you can speak your truth and you can speak your confessions or whatever to the empty sink and then run clear water down the sink and clear out those confessions.
To me, the bathroom would be like a mikveh in Judaism where we go to cleanse ourselves and renew and dedicate ourselves with water. Obviously, unless you're really blessed and have a very huge bathtub, you're not going to completely 100% submerge to where everything, including your hair, is underwater. But standing in the shower or relaxing in the tub and letting the water just flow and cleanse you, that would be, for me, what it would be.
Yeah,
and I would have even thought of that had you not said confession. So, while I think confessional booth and Catholics and whatever, which you don't have to be Catholic to confess something and let it go. That's just made me start thinking, and that's where my mind went. So,
yeah, it is. When I take a shower, I always take at least a couple of minutes after I'm clean to just stand under the shower and visualize the water and the energy in the water cleaning me energetically, because it just flows through your hair, down your whole body, and goes out down the drain. So I always visualize at least 2 or 3 minutes of just that the water as energy washing out all the detritus and all the yucky energy that I may have been carrying around, and just washing it clean right down the drain.
I do that too.
And it makes you feel better. It really does.
it does.
So what else?
I see the office, if you have a home office, as a money altar, where you can do your work and be productive and bring in abundance and wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You can set up a money altar in there. If you're a plant person, you can have a money tree in your office. All kinds of ways to get super witchy with that and turn your office into a money altar.
That is, I need to do that, because right now my workspace, it's a creativity altar, because I'm here to write, but I need to add a little bit of money to it.
Creativity is good too, because even though I'm not writing books like you, I'm writing emails and I'm creating courses and programs and products and things. So I need a little creativity in with my money. So that's a good one too.
Yeah, and I need to include a little bit of prosperity in with my creativity, because I never think about making money with, writing my books and doing all this. I never I never think about, I mean, I want people to buy my books and read them and enjoy them, but I never think about, oh, I'm going to be rich. I don't equate that with my writing, but it wouldn't hurt to have a couple of dollars come in every now and then.
Exactly. I mean, whether you're trying to use it as a way to support yourself financially, or you're using it as a way to bring in a few extra dollars to whatever with those few extra dollars, you're not giving away your books. So you want some money to be coming in for it.
Yeah.
Right.
True. I mean, we live in a capitalist society, and bringing in a little bit of money is proof that you're doing something right, I think.
Exactly. And we're not going to get into the whole politics of capitalism and whether it's right or wrong. It is what it is at this point. So, I mean, we're living that whether you like it or don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, we have to eat, and we have to pay for electricity so that our computers will work, so that we can write and talk to each other. So,
and for those who are actually out there listening to us, however few or many you may be, we have to, have money to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or you won't hear us anymore.
Yeah. We would just be talking to ourselves.
I mean, we do like each other and we could do that, but we're
right.
for the listeners too. So. Nobody records themselves talking just to talk.
Yeah, no.
Any other rooms that can be blatant altars? I'm sure they could. The bedroom for relaxation and self-care.
Yeah, for sure.
Basements for reflecting. If you have a decent basement.
Or a basement at all. I mean, if you don't have one, then it's obviously not. But that's a good one. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah, I always wanted like an attic and a basement. I don't have either of those.
Ooh, really?
I don't either.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Florida, so there's no basements in Florida, and the attic is just like a crawl space. It's not somewhere you're going to go relax.
When I was a kid, the house we lived in had a basement. We didn't have an attic, but we had a basement, and we would go play in there and everything. It was fun. It was like our play area. I mean, my dad used it for storage and crap too, but we would go play in there.
Yeah. A guy I used to know, he had one of these he lived in one of these old houses in the historic part of the city, and his attic was the coolest attic in the whole world, because you go up these really narrow steps, but then the attic was like the size of the whole house, and there were these gabled windows all around, so sunlight came in, and there were these columns that were like support columns, but they were beautiful, like placed all through the space. I was like, oh my God, I want to live in this attic. It is so cool. It was really nice. So I've always wanted an attic like that.
When we lived with my grandparents, the attic was our bedrooms. The attic had been converted into 2 bedrooms, and one was my dad's room, and one was mine and my 2 sisters' room. And that was the attic. Like, you go up the stairs and you would be in this like little hall, and off to one side was 1 bedroom and off to the other side was the other one. So I literally slept in the attic.
That's kind of romantic.
In some ways, yeah. In other ways, it's not, but
Yeah.
It was just an extension of the house in some ways.
Yeah. So, is there anything else before we wrap this up? Our first episode of 2026.
I'm just proud that we made it a whole year and now we're into year 2. Yay!
Yay, yes, that is awesome. A whole year of Hex and Harmony.
Wow! Yay! Many more to come.
Okay. Well, as we wrap up, I will leave you all with this. Your home doesn't need to be perfect to be sacred. It just needs to be lived in with intention. And a living altar is not something you build once. It's something that you notice, that you tend to, and sometimes you forgive. Some seasons it's candles and flowers, and some seasons it's survival and keeping the lights on. And all of that counts, and all of that means something. So whether you are listening from your kitchen, your car, from your bedroom, from chaos, know this. The space you inhabit is already holding you. You don't need to earn that. You're already home. So we will see you again in 2 weeks. Everybody have a blessed January.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye.